Hello everyone, this is Diego for one more episode of Diversilíngua, and today we are going to talk about the Stephen Krashen theory. And why am I recording this episode in English? Well, just because I'd like to practice my English, and also I'd like to make you feel more comfortable with English content. So this is an English content that was not made by a native speaker, so maybe you will be more able to understand what I'm saying. And also, it is also a good way to practice my English. So we are going to talk about Stephen Krashen theory. What does that mean? What does it mean? So Stephen Krashen theory is a theory made by Stephen Krashen, a linguistic that studied the language acquisition process, and many people use that theory to improve their language skills, to learn different languages, to acquire different languages. So, in the website of Stephen Krashen, it says that acquisition requires meaningful interaction in the target language, natural communication in which speakers are concerned not with the form of their utterance, but with the message they are conveying and understanding. So this is a different way to see how you could learn language, and I've been trying to improve my language skills through this language acquisition process, in which I try my best to understand the natural communication and the natural way to express your ideas in different languages. And basically what I've been doing is trying to get as much input as I can in a way that I can process those inputs, and I can also output my ideas in the target language. So another sentence that are in the Stephen Krashen website is: the best methods are therefore those that supply comprehensible input in low anxiety situations, containing messages that students really want to hear. These methods do not force early production in the second language, but allow students to produce when they are ready, recognizing that improvement comes from supplying communicative and comprehensible input, and not from forcing and correcting production. So, what does it mean? If you want to learn a different language, if you want to be able to talk with people in a different language, you may try to listen as much as you can. You try to listen to the contents that you like in the target language as much as you can. Like, for example, if you like football, you must try to listen to content talking about football in the target language that you want to learn. In my case, I love English. I'd like to be fluent in English, and I tried my best to listen to content that I like for example, content about self-improvement, about how to be able to record a podcast like this, how to make a YouTube video, a YouTube channel, how to build a YouTube channel, how to speak in English. So, and also about psychology, that is a content that I like. Also, I work with computer science, so most of the time I search for content on the internet in the language that I'm trying to improve as much as I can, that is English. So those content in English make me able to improve my speaking skill, because I was getting as much as comprehensible input as I could. And what does it mean, comprehensible input? What does comprehensible input mean? So if you want to listen to a content that you will know what people are saying, you must try to listen to the content that you know almost 60% of the vocabulary that people are speaking. So even though you don't know some expressions, even though you don't know some words or some forms to build a sentence, to make a sentence, if you know 60% of the content that you are trying to listen to, you will be able to comprehend and to acquire more vocabulary, to acquire more expressions to speak. So those are basically the things that I try my best to practice, to improve. So as a listener myself, I must say that I firstly heard about Krashen around 2012, when I discovered the incredible world of podcasts. Back then, I was trying to improve my English through English as a second language podcast, and that podcast was amazing. Why? Because I had the opportunity to listen to the content, to a comprehensible content, in which I could know what they are talking about for almost 60% of the vocabulary. So 60% of the vocabulary I could understand, and I could comprehend what they are saying. And there were two kinds of episodes in the English as a second language podcast. One of them were a simplified dialogue in which the host tried to speak slowly, and after the first time that he spoke the dialogue, that he pronounced the words, the guy tried to explain the expressions they used, the vocabulary, the meaning of the words, and how you should form sentence in a such way. So it was nice. And then afterwards he would speak a little bit more quick the episode, in a way that people could listen to the episode in a normal speed. let's put like this. And the other episode that I listened to that podcast, in English as a Second Language podcast, was an episode about some historical figures from American history, and some other times the story was about a specific topic such as technology or some event that has happened in the history. And in those other episodes, the guy also tried to explain the sentence and to explain some difficult words for English learners. But anyway, coming back to Stephen Krashen, I first heard about him in the ESL podcast. I don't know exactly if I heard about him during the episode or if I had access to the material from the same podcast about Krashen's work. What I remember is that the material says that the best way to acquire a language would be through a lot of input. Therefore, with a great time exposed to input, we would be able to deliver a message more clear as an output. But what would be the input and output? I've already mentioned in this episode, but regarding language learning, input would be activities in which you have a passive contact with the language, such as listening and reading, whereas the output represents activities in which you must process information and deliver it. They are the speaking and the writing. Besides that, the material says that to improve your language level, you must have access to comprehensible input. In other words, a comprehensible material in which you can understand most part of it. But there will be still some content that you would not be able to understand, of course. To clarify this concept, imagine that you are in the level I of the language you are studying. The acquisition of that language takes place when you are exposed to a comprehensible input that belongs to the level I+1. This hypothesis of comprehensible input belongs to the fifth hypothesis of Krashen's theory of the second language acquisition. So, thanks to that material, I was presented to Krashen's work about language learning acquisition, and since then I've been exposed to comprehensible English content in order to improve my language skills. I must say that my level of English has improved a lot, and I'm feeling more effective at acquiring vocabulary. And of that were reached only by following one of the hypotheses. And that's it. I think that if you search for content that you like for example, if you are like myself that love podcasts and love some interesting content about universe or about the space, you must try to search for those content in the language that you want to learn, like for example English, and you will be able to understand. But those contents those content must be in a way that you would understand more or less 60% of the people are saying. And with that, you could acquire the language, you could learn more vocabulary, more ways to pronounce the words, more ways to form sentence, and I do believe that you will be able to be fluent in the language that you want to. And do you want to get to know more about Krashen's work regarding language acquisition? Stay tuned to our podcast and don't forget to subscribe or follow our show on your favorite podcast platform. If you have any suggestion, don't hesitate to send us a message through our social media or our email diversilingua@gmail.com. Thanks for listening to our episode, and I hope I can see you again in the next episode, and maybe in a video episode in our YouTube channel. Okay, so see you next time. Bye.